Good evening.
Good evening, sir.
Hello. Good evening.
Very good evening.
Yeah, can everybody hear?
Yes.
Yeah. Can we start?
Yeah,
Sure,
please.
sir.
Yeah. So, welcome everyone who joined the session. So, thank you very much for attending the webinar. All would-be farm owners. Hello, can everybody hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So once again, hope many have joined now. Thank you very much for joining. This first steps into smart farming. This is a 4-session seminar for those who are starting their farming as a second profession. I know lots of you are young and educated and curious about agriculture. All of you must be very, very busy in your routine. Some may be engineers, those who are sitting in front of the computers all the time. Some may be managing the busy office, and some are busy medical practitioners who work in the hospitals. But you have a lot of stress during the day-to-day working, and when you go sometimes to your native place or relatives' place, or when you go for a homestay farming, you feel very, very calm in the green, and you feel very serene atmospheres. Once it comes to your mind that you also should own a small piece of land, definitely it comes to everybody's notice, so that you can come out of all these rat race and be very, very peaceful, and that's the ultimate peace what you'll have. Dear friends, it is definitely true that you will get all these luxuries, but provided you have planned everything well in advance. That is the reason I'm having these small sessions for the beginners. Everybody will have passion, but unless this passion is backed by scientifically, practically, and realistically, and financially well planned, this is going to be disastrous in the end. That is the reason you have to do all these exercises before you jump into the actual arena of farming. Few things I would like to clarify. And this, as I said, this seminar is mainly for the beginners, though not for those who are already into it. But those beginners, this is a tip where you can think in different directions and take all the care before you start. And one more thing is, I come from southern India in Karnataka, southern Karnataka, where we have different crop patterns. I am sharing the experiences what I had in these last 35 years. I know a lot of viewers are from North India, Haryana, Punjab, Delhi, Pune. So every area in India will have different crop patterns. So for these individual crop patterns, you will have to go to a university or horticulture department to find out the crops which suits for your ventures. But what this would tell you is the main how to manage the things and how to go about it. And I feel this is the right time to get into farming, because particularly in Karnataka, government has removed all the regulations to buy the land, all the regulations to buy the lands. So if now it's free, everybody can buy the lands. Earlier, we had a lot of other land forms restrictions. Now let us discuss. This is the introductory session, first session, so that I'll be discussing more about general things as an introduction and course structures and things. So from next session onwards, actually we are jumping into the actual farm arena and discussing in detail. This whole course structure is in 4 half-an-hour sessions. And in this session, normally I'll be covering briefly about entire course format and why you need to understand all these dynamics of farming, and couple of real life examples what I came across during last 35 years, and how you should get mentally prepared to get into farming. And in the second session on 16th May, we'll have how to buy the lands, how to select agricultural land, what are the basic things you have to look around, and what are the basic infrastructures required in the initial stages, and stepwise later right crop selections, and what are the multi type of cropping what you can do, and how to reduce the risk in the due course. And in the third session, that's very important, understanding the capital requirements, initial capital requirements to buy the land, and after that how much you need to have as reserves, and managing your funds smartly in these initial 5 to 6 years, and few do's and don'ts where unnecessarily you waste your money, and these things will be discussed in the third session. And in the last session is mostly after 2-3 years of buying, how you can manage financially the farming and increasing your cash flow throughout the first initial years, and how to reduce the operational costs, and wide value additions what you can think, and what is future for farming. Dear friends, one more thing I want to stress, that is, I request everyone not to ask any questions in between, because most of your questions will be answered in the next 3 sessions. In case, I know still you will have a lot of queries and questions, I request everyone to send me the mail, and we can, if there are more questions, we can definitely have one more session of half an hour just for the question and answers. Hope you are with me. Hello, can everybody hear me? Yeah. Now, coming to the farming, passion is the driving force. Definitely, this is very, very important. Not everybody can do all the professions. You need to have a lot of passion, and it should be sustained passion for a long time. To sustain it for a very long time, you should enjoy it, and at the same time it should also give back lot. Apart from the luxuries, it should give back good income as well. Only then, according to me, it will last for very, very long time. And only having passion is not enough. It has to be backed by many, many things: knowledge, and scientifically understanding the things, understanding the subject. For example, you may be a doctor or an engineer or a pharmacist, whoever. You have studied for 5 to 6 or more years to equip yourself in your own profession. This also is a parallel profession. So unless here you're not going to the regular universities, but you have to have basic knowledge to start with. How do you gain this knowledge? This mainly to read the books, or to gain a lot of informations now we have through the internets, or practical experiences of a lot of farmers from India and abroad in the YouTube. All these are basically very, very, very important, dear friends. Unless you have good theoretical knowledge, it becomes very, very difficult for you to go through every step in agriculture. I would add one more thing to this. You should, once you have gained little knowledge by studying and all this theoretical knowledge, you should go on the weekends and visit the farmers nearby. Let them be growing whatever, but you meet them, spend half a day, one day with them, talk to them, what they are growing, how is it, everything, so that you will have the first-hand information about it. And one more very important thing is having a mentor. I'm very, very sure you know the difference between an advisor and a mentor. An advisor is a person who is giving you the theoretical knowledge, probably a professor in a university or somebody official in the horticulture department. You go and ask them on the paper, they'll give you a lot of things. But only theoretical knowledge is, I'm not underestimating them. They are doing a fantastic job, but that is not only sufficient. You should go and meet a lot of farmers. Among them, you will find a person who has done it seriously and succeeded for a long time, and he has gone through all the ups and downs, everything, and he has become a very successful farmer. So actually, you should have one of them as your mentor and follow him, and he should be beside you for all the small queries what you ask. And one more very, very important, this whole seminar is not meant for full-time farmers. It is mainly meant for a profession which you are going to take along with your main profession. For example, I am a dentist. Let me introduce myself. I am Dr. Manjunath. I am a dental surgeon by profession. From last 35 years, I've been practicing in a place called Shimoga in Karnataka. That is my primary profession. Within 6 months of my practice, I bought a piece of land and started my career. That's also almost 35 years. So I am talking about this parallel profession. So never ever quit your primary profession just because you have bought a piece of land. Because initial 5 to 6 years, you need this support from your primary profession to support this and be successful. This is very, very important. I cannot stress more than this. And with all this, I would go one step further. That's called sandboxing in farming. Once you have gained all these knowledge, you have a mentor, you feel that you have all the equipments, but still I would say, see, before you actually buy the land, you need to spend 2 years, according to me. That is nearly 3 to 4 months to get all these things, what I have told you. After that, you go to the nearest village, which is where you are staying. Then take a land for lease. It's very easy to get the lands for lease because there are a lot of farmers are out there to give you the land for lease. You take it for 1 or 2 years, 1 or 2 years, grow short-term crops like papayas or bananas, ginger, or anything like this, and get the first-hand experience of these for 2 years. You get the land for 25,000-30,000 rupees an acre for these lease lands. It's worth experimenting couple of years, 1 or 2 years. Then you know how to manage it, how to talk to the farmers, how to get along with the villagers. All these are very, very important. Okay. As I said, passion And to go and succeed, you have to have the right approach. What is the right approach? I would feel these are the four ones. One is well planned. As I said, it has to be very, very, very well planned. Unless it is well planned, as you said, gaining the knowledge, having a mentor, you're ready. All these things should be done before you actually buy the land. Second thing is 100% efforts. Friends, this is very, very important. Not even 99%, it is 100 or 110%. That to particularly initial 5 to 6 years. These initial 5 to 6 years are very crucial in farming when you buy. So this 100% effort, once you decide, 24 hours you have to think about it. It should get into your DNA and work, think all the time about farming, farming, farming. So this 100% effort is
Getting to your
very, very
DNA,
important. And
DNA
investing,
you can't change. Manasi with
hello, yeah, hello, yeah. Investing time is one more thing. Nothing works unless you invest time. So initially 10 to 15 years, I used to invest almost 4 to 5 hours a day and all the weekends for this. Those days, I bought the land, but I didn't know how to cope up with the timing because I was a busy practitioner. I used to start my clinic around 10 o'clock and I used to practice till night 9 o'clock. So once I met one of the senior medical practitioner in the city, I just asked him, because he was a multifaceted and he was doing multitasking. I asked him, how do you manage time? Then he asked me, what time you start your clinic? I said 10 o'clock. Okay, I also start at 10 o'clock, but I get up at 4:30 in the morning, get ready at 5 as if I'm going to the clinic. So between 5 in the morning and 10 o'clock, you have 5 full hours. That I use it for. Friends, this is very, very important. At least for a couple of years, you need to invest time. Unless you invest this type of time, it's not possible. But later, once everything is stabilized, you need not have to. And not last but not the least, financial planning is very, very, very important at that too at this time, because those days anything would have happened, like you could have managed, but now the things are so expensive. So financial planning from the time of buying to till 6th or 8th year, everything should be written. Everything should be written. That's very, very important. With all these things, I would share small two stories. There are a lot of young people in this last 35 years came and asked me their own stories, everything. But I picked up two of them. This briefly I would like to share. One day, a software engineer from Bangalore, he comes to my clinic for treatment. So all the treatments are over. Then I saw him, he was little down. I just asked him, what is the matter? Since I knew him from childhood, he was my patient. Now he was working as an engineer in a good multinational company, and he had married his colleague who was in the same company. Both of them had this passion of buying the farmland. So they accumulated money. That was nearly 60 lakhs, and they bought a land which is very close to his native place because he thought somebody would help him. That is Hosanagar near Shimoga. After buying the land, they thought he has to resign. So he resigned and she was working. They started the work operations in this new land which they bought. And they had nearly 15 to 20 lakhs of rupees as operational expenses. Once all the fencing is done, all the basic infrastructures are getting ready, and initial planting is over, that time most of their money is exhausted. Of course, she was earning, so week on week, she used to come on the weekends and they used to manage. Suddenly, there was shortage of water. They had to dig the bore well. So for that, they did not have money. So naturally, they bought the loan from the bank. Similarly, over and over, things started coming up and they bought a lot of loans. In this period, they have to manage the weekly payments for the workers, some small expenditures, sometimes some big expenditures. Their money was getting exhausted and they could not pay the EMI. At this stage, he came to the clinic, he was very down and they were planning to sell the land. Okay, this is one scenario. Second, a young doctor came to my clinic and said, around 11 o'clock in the morning, he said, do you have nursery? I said, I have nursery. So I want 100 teak plants and 100 agar wood plants. I said, what is the matter? Since I knew him well and his father, then I asked him why. He said, I have bought a piece of land, so I want to plant. So at this juncture, I said, we'll discuss about it later. So at around 9:30 in the night, he came, we started discussing about the whole thing. He had bought 2 acres of land, which is 3 hours from Shimoga, and he was planning to go there by bike and do the farming. And the crops chosen were yielding after 20 or 25 years. Dear friends, these are all, see, there are a lot of steps they have gone wrong. So when I bought the land, within 6 months of my practice, I bought the land. Honestly, the next day when I stood in front of my garden, I did not know what a weed or what grass was. Absolutely clueless. But those days were different, but now you can't afford to do these things. So that is the reason this whole exercise, I want everyone to be prepared before you jump into the water. Please don't take it as a negative thing. So far, I've been cautioning you about all these things, but definitely there are lots and lots of benefits. Let us see few benefits from farming. First is your passion is met. That's very important, friends. Once you have planned well, after 6 to 8 years, you have done good agriculture, you have come out green, then what you see in your garden, all green, every year it is giving you income. There is nothing to compare that. That's the ultimate joy what you can have, and that is long lasting. That joy cannot be measured by money or anything like that. So honestly, it's a fantastic experience. That is the reason I want every one of you to have a second profession as farming. And again, second, I feel this is the best second line of profession. There are a lot of professions you can do, and they are doing along with the main profession, like hotels or catering or whatever it is, so many things. But all those things require a lot of attention day in and day out for all the time. It's not for short time. Here, if you can do it for 6 to 8 years, then this gives, in the sense, it's very good, and this I feel is the best second line of profession. Third thing is it gives you a very sustained income. Once everything is settled, after why I am stressing this
Sorry to interrupt.
8 years is because these 6 to 8 years are very, very crucial, and this you'll have to pass through. Once it is done, then it gives you very sustained income. It may not be very great or very big, but definitely it is very secured and sustained. Fourth, it gives security for yourself and your family. See, nothing gives more security than a good yielding, good managed farm. It's also best insurance. Suppose something happens to you, not if they cannot, your family members cannot maintain this, they cannot do anything. So this is the best insurance as well. So believe me, even for you, even after retirement, this gives the best insurance and recurring income. And sixth one is, why not? Legally, government has given you 100% tax-free income for farming. Take it. There's nothing wrong. You are doing it legally. Legally, when it is available, there is nothing wrong in taking 100% benefits, that is 100% tax-free income. Definitely, you will enjoy it once it starts coming. And on a lighter note, lockdowns, corona, no problem for farming at all my plants, all my trees are growing on its own, no corona for them. Even during the lockdown, I am not going to the clinic because it's very risky, but I'm enjoying my farm. So this is the freedom what you get in farming. And once everything is streamlined for 6 to 8 years, your physical presence is not that much required. As I told you, every day spending so much time. Only weekends, if you can spend a day, Sunday, or you can take off one day in your working days, that should be more than enough. And chances of getting cheated is very comparatively less. Once you have the basic knowledge, once you have gone through all this, compared to other second line of business like hotels or any other business, here chances of getting cheated is comparatively, I feel, is less. And dear friends, one of the best part of farming is this gives cash flow every year and probably every month. And apart from this, indirectly the land value is shooting up like anything. See, when I bought the land, it was 10,000 rupees an acre per 10,000 rupees per acre of land. Now fully developed, this is costing this will be around 40 lakhs an acre. You cannot really imagine. Nowadays it may not be that much, still the land value goes up, and it is fantastic feeling. And 11th, it's easily, it can be passed down to the next generation. You do some other businesses, it is difficult to pass on to the next generation, but this easily can be passed on to the next generation. Of course, in the end, once you are settled, everything is done, you get the fresh fruits, vegetables, milk, that's all organic if you want to, from your farm. So these are all the advantages, benefits, provided you have managed it well. Dear friends, hope this is the first session, and it's more of introductory. So actually from the next session, that is on 16th May at 4 p.m., please join me. We can have discuss actually in depth about starting your farming. That's from day one, how you can think, plan everything in detail, whatever possible we can discuss. This whole, you please take it as thinking in a different direction of thinking, so that you also can think in a different direction, and all these will be helpful when you start your actual farming. So thank you very much for joining. All the best. Bye.
ಇದು ಕಳಿಸ್ಬೋದಾ ಮೆಸೇಜ್